Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2.
All right, Shalom Israel, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai B'akatah. To all the brothers, Yahweh Shemai Latan, Ba'ashem Yahushai, to all the sisters, peace and officer Math Choir for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Out 10.14, the Israelite School of Universal Practice, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, which started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. And in this school, we teach the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? That the so-called black man, the Hispanic man, and the Native Indian man, we are all family. We are from the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. Right now, we are scattered through the 4 corners of the earth because we fail to obey the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. We understand things that we're supposed to know, things that we're supposed to teach throughout our generation, right? The Christian church, all these religions, they are not teaching us according to the Bible. They are teaching us according to their doctrine, their philosophy, or how they want their money to run in their pockets. But they are not actually teaching us what Moses gave to our forefathers, you understand, to pass on throughout our generation, which is the laws, commandments, and statutes of this book called the Bible, which belongs to us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? Before we get into the class tonight, remember the school location is at light pole number 1, Morris Street in Point 14, right? If you need more information on the school, you want to come to the school, you want to find out the different events school might be having, whatever the case might be, you can contact Officer Sowapiala at number 479-8286, right? That is the officer above me. Or you could contact the captain, which is the officer above him, right? Captain Mashak Miam at number 1202-701-4640. You could call, you could WhatsApp these numbers to get the information, to get the questions answered, because sometimes you might want to come to ask questions on the live class itself, but you can ask questions through the WhatsApp to find out anything you need to know about the Bible or the classes or whatsoever the case might be, right? Also check us out on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, well, X, to keep updated with the different events and the things that will be happening in and around Trinidad and Tobago, right? When it comes to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, our upcoming high holy day, which is the Lord 57th annual Passover, that will be Saturday, April 4, 2026 at sundown, right? That will be happening at the Beach Ranch, Houston, Texas. If you're not able to make it out in Houston, Texas, you can come down to light pole number 1, Morris Street in Point 14. Again, light pole number 1, Morris Street in Point 14. They reach the WASA office. You're turning in that road right by the WASA office, second building on your left. You'll see the big sign on the building, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That is where the school location at, right? Remember, it's sundown, April 4th, 2026. Come and understand more about the Lord's Passover, your culture, your history, and stuff like that, right? Remember to check us out on 91.9 FM every Thursday from 7 p.m. Myself, Officer Sowapiala, various brothers will be there. You'll be seeing various brothers from around the different schools. You understand, in UK, in Jamaica, in the US, wherever the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is located, you'll see brothers coming in from time to time, giving the inputs of what is happening to our people, what is happening globally with the news, the wars, and all these different things, right? So now we're going to get into tonight's class, what the Lord did for his people meaning Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We're going to start tonight's class with the book of Deuteronomy 7 and 6. You understand? Because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we need to understand that the Lord has a chosen people, a separate people. You understand? We are not to be integrated into all these other nations with their cultures, their doctrines, their philosophies, their way of life, the way how they do things. We are not supposed to be integrated in that, because we as a people, we have our own culture, we have our own way, we have our own constitution. You understand? We have a whole governance system which is in this Bible that we as a people need to know and need to understand, whereby we wouldn't have to be running to these other nations for their help and their assistance when the Lord give us enough, which is in this book, where we can govern ourselves, you understand, and inherit the earth in the way that we're supposed to do it. So when you have it, you can go ahead and read Officer Tazo, Baba Kusha.
For thou art an holy people, unto the Most High thy God.
Don't forget to grab the mic, Baba Kusha, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. We'll just press the button. Let me see again.
One.
Yeah, it's all. It's all.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
Mhm.
For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power.
The Lord is telling us, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, wherever you may be, Trinidad, Grenada, Barbados, St. Lucia, you understand, you have family coming off the transatlantic slave trade, wherever we might be as a people, the Lord is telling us that we are what?
From the top.
Read from the top again, Baba Kusha.
For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power.
The Lord is telling us that we are a holy people unto him. We are a holy people, holy meaning separate. You understand? We are a separate people to the Lord. So of all the families of the earth, all these 18 nations that is on the earth, you understand? We are separate from them. We are holy unto the Lord. Go ahead.
The Most High thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people
The Lord has
unto
chosen
himself.
us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? He has not chosen the so-called oppressor, which is the white man. He has not chosen the East Indians. He has not chosen the Syrians, the Chinese. All these other nations, the Lord have not chosen them to be special. He have not chosen them to be separate. You understand? These people that are going through oppression right now in the ghettos and in the slums, we are the ones, you understand, that the Lord made or chose to be holy, chose to be separate. Go ahead.
A special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
The Lord said he chose us to be separate, he chose us to be special. The Lord chose us to be what? Above all people upon the face of the earth. You understand? And when you look at black people today, black people is not above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You understand? We can see that simply by just going through social media alone. We didn't start to go out in the outside world yet to start dealing with business, trade, and commerce, and import and exports, and all these different things. You understand? We didn't start to talk about that yet. We're just dealing from on a low level, which is just being on social media, which everybody on a daily basis. You understand? We are the ones that are at the bottom. You understand? And these other nations, they blatantly put it out there in our face that we are the ones at the bottom. They tell us. You understand? But in our book, in our record, the Lord is telling us, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, that we are the ones that's supposed to be above all these nations upon the face of the earth. You understand? Again, when you look at black people, we're not above, we are the bottom. Why? Because we fail to adhere to the rules. We fail to adhere to the laws, commandments, and statutes that the Lord has given this family, that the Lord has given this house. We fail to adhere to it. You understand? Because of that, we are the bottom. When you look at what we're going, the topic that we're going to go into tonight, in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 4, Baba Kusha. When we look at the topic that we're going to go into tonight, the Lord's Passover. You understand? Our people, we was under bondage, under the hands of the Egyptians. You understand? The oppressors. The Lord had to come and deliver us. Why we was under this bondage? Why we was under this oppression from the other nations? Just like we are today. Same thing again. We fail to obey the Most High's laws, his commandments, and statutes. You understand? Give me Leviticus chapter 23, start at verse 4, Baba Kusha.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 4. These are the feasts of the Most High.
These are the what?
Feast of the Most High. Even holy convocations, which you shall proclaim in their seasons.
You understand? These are the feasts of the Lord. Even what? Holy convocations, even separate gatherings. These are the times that we, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, ought to come together as a nation, ought to come together as a people. You understand? Just like we might have our family days or at home or family events, the Lord give us days that we as a nation have to come together. And in everything, in every feast day or high holy day that we come together, there's a meaning, there's a significance behind it. We're just not coming together because it's a feel-good session or a feel-good time. It's things that we're supposed to remember. You understand? Through war, through the Lord delivering us from oppression, whatsoever the case might be. These are things for us to remember, and that is why Moses told us that these are the things that we're supposed to teach our children throughout their generation. And our children are supposed to teach their children, and it keep going on from generation to generation. You understand? And once our people and our children know these things, then we as a nation, collectively, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, we wouldn't be under this oppression that we are. Why? Because we understand the rules or the laws that Moses gave to us. We understand the things that our forefathers went through. These other nations, they understand what their foreparents went through. You understand? For example, when you look at the East Indians, for example, they could give you their history clear about their people coming across here and the things that they did. You understand? They have their schools opening where they could learn their language, their history, different Sanskrits, different songs. They know. You understand? The Syrians know, the Chinese know. Just the other day, I think it was some Chinese celebration or whatsoever the case is, and they brought out a whole history on the Chinese and their migration from China in Trinidad and how they developed. You understand? And their children lived here, never went back to China. Some of them transferred to and fro. You understand? But their children live here, grow here, and given you the history of how their parents came, how they established themselves. You understand? And in it, they understand that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians was definitely under pressure, but they wouldn't come out and say, hey, you know what? Black people here, well, they was under pressure. Because they saw it as an opportunity for them to rise above these people that is no people, that they consider to be no people. You understand? Just like the East Indians was put in place by the so-called oppressor, the white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, to be over Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And once we don't know these histories or understand these things, we will think that these nations or these other races, they are our friends, they are our counterparts. So, you know, we will hang around and give them all the wealth that we have, that we're supposed to be giving our nation to them. We will help them build their empires flawlessly. Because we lack the knowledge or we lack the understanding of where we were as a people. You understand? The things that we came out from. We're not understanding these things. We're not understanding that this house, these people, it have rules that we're supposed to follow. And once we maintain or keep these rules, we are definitely going to be above all these other races or these other nations as the Lord intended to be. You understand? So now, instead of us celebrating Christmas and Easter and birthdays, you understand, and following the customs of these other nations, the Lord gave us our feast days, you understand, our holy convocations, which we should do what? Proclaim in their seasons, because from time to time, from year to year, these things is going to come wrong, and when it comes wrong, we're supposed to do what? Keep them, follow them, observe them, do them. You understand? We have different feasts that will be in different seasons. Since it's springtime, the Lord's Passover is around this time. We're going to get there as we're going on lower. This is the season that we're supposed to be observing the Lord's Passover, you understand, and also to the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We are not supposed to be studying, hey, Easter on the horizon, what we're going to do for Easter. You understand? These things keep our people in oppression. That is why our parents and our grandparents before them and their parents before them end up in the same thing. You understand what we will call a generational curse, because they lack the understanding of what we're supposed to be doing as a people. You understand? And it's so simple. You understand? It's so simple, but yet still, it's so far. You understand? We rather fight to keep the Easter and birthdays and carnival and all these different things, spend out our last. You understand? And do no homework and do no research to understand, hey, nah, but there's something we're not supposed to be following. You understand? We rather do that than to turn to the Most High. Again, why? We lack the understanding. And then when you look at the Christian church and you look at the atrocities that has been done in the Christian church, when you hear people hear the Bible, they don't want to part of it. Because they think that the Bible is tied up with the Christian church or with religion on a whole, when the Bible is absolutely separate. Have nothing to do with religion and nothing to do with the Christian church. You understand? Whatever happens in the Christian church or their doctrines or their philosophies is based on what they desire or what they want for themselves. Because if they go inside the Bible, they're going to see something totally separate that is not aligning with religion or not aligning with the Christian doctrines or philosophies. You understand? So the Lord is saying that these are the feasts, the holy convocations which you should proclaim in their seasons. Where it was 5 Bible question.
Go on. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
So the 14th day of the first month should be what? The Lord's Passover. We will get into the Lord's Passover so you will see what this is all about. You understand? Where it was 6 Bible question.
Go on. On the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Most High. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread.
You understand? And on the 15 days, so the 14 days, the Lord's Passover, the 15th day is Feast of Unleavened Bread. Unto who? Unto the Lord. You understand? So now, from there on, for 7 days, you'll be eating unleavened bread. You understand? So all this we're going to get into. We're going to understand more about the Passover, more about the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And you're going to understand this is what we, as a people, supposed to be keeping. This is what we're supposed to be following. Given Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1 to 2 Bible question. You understand? This is what we're supposed to be following. This is what we're supposed to be keeping. But again, once we are not taught this in religion, or we are not taught this on our whole, we're going to keep following the ways of these other nations. We're going to keep following the doctrines and the philosophies of the Christian church. You understand? And our people, we are going to be stuck. The same thing over and over. You understand? But again, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is here. Their officers, you understand, their captains, their generals, that is bringing this truth according to the way how Moses, the Lord, intended to be. You understand? So now we're going to get the understanding of these things and come out of the position or the condition that we are in as a people. You understand? So now we're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. Whenever you read Bible question.
Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy power.
You understand? So Moses is telling us that if we hearken diligently, understand, these is not words to be taken lightly. You understand? Moses is telling us if we listen diligently, we pay close attention, we observe, we do, we understand what the Lord requires from us. You understand? So he's saying if we should hearken diligently, go ahead.
Unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments.
So we listen to the voice of the Lord to do what? To observe and do. Observation is something that we have to pay close attention to. You understand? It's not just, yeah, well, we're supposed to do this or here, but you have to understand. In observation comes understanding why we're doing this. Comes questions also. Why are we doing this? So what if this happened like that? You understand? So then why did this take place at this time? Why are we having all these high holy days and feast days? Why are we keeping the Lord's Passover? Now, when you get the understanding, you will know this is something that belongs to you. This is something that belongs to your nation. This is what your people had to suffer and go through. You understand? In order for us to be the people that the Lord requires to be above all these other races or all these other nations. You understand? So Moses is telling us if we hearken diligently to the voice of the Lord thy God, to do what? Observe and do. So we also have things to do. You understand? That's why we say this school is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. They have things to do. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. Right. Which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
You understand? So the things that he commands us to do, he's telling us that the Lord is going to set us high. So now the ruling spots that our oppressors are in, You understand that we're saying they can't run good, and they can't do this good, and they can't do that good. That is the positions and the spot your nation supposed to be in. Your people supposed to be in these positions. You understand? And when we see us as a people behind or underneath or not in that spot, then we're going to realize we still adhere to the voice of the Lord our God. You understand? Because Moses is letting us know that if we listen and hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, that we is going to be what? Set on high above all the nations on the earth. You understand? So now when we have to look to these other nations for our food, for our help, for clothes, things to eat, you understand? Even for the very land that they own, when we have to look to these other nations for that, they were the ones supposed to be looking to us. Because now we would have been the ruling or the governing body on the earth. You understand? That is why Moses said the Lord wants to do what? Set us high above all nations. Go ahead, Baba Kusha. Verse 2.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
You understand? So when you go down from verse 3 to verse 14, Moses explained all the blessings that will happen to the children of Israel once we hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God. You understand? Jump to verse 15, Baba Kusha.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now, if we didn't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, you understand? All these curses was going to come upon us as a people, come upon us as a nation. Moses is telling us it's going to come upon us and overtake us. You understand? It is going to consume us. It is even going to go before us, which means going in our generation line. These things is going to happen to us. You understand? Because we fail to obey to the instructions that the Lord gave to Moses, to give to our people, to give to our nation. We fail to observe and do the commandments that is in this book. You understand? And failure to do that caused us as a nation to be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth where we are today. You understand? Give me verse 64, Baba Kusha.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people.
The Lord saying that he was going to scatter us among all people, among all these other nations. You understand? These 17 other nations, these 17 other races, the Lord is saying that he is going to scatter us among all people. Go ahead.
From the one end of the earth.
From one end of the earth, from the region of our homeland. Go ahead.
Even unto the other.
Even unto another. From one end of the earth, even to another. You understand? Go ahead.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
What are we going to do there?
Serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
So now he's going to be scattered from one end of the earth, even unto another. And yet still when we get there, you understand, the Lord is telling us that we're going to do what? Serve other gods. Which did happen to our people. Which did happen to our nation. You understand? The gods that us, neither our fathers have known. Because there's only one God, one power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Most High God. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Even wood and stone.
Even what?
Wood and stone.
Which goes into the Muslim mosque. You understand? And their Kaaba stone. And Christian church with their Christian cross. You understand? The Lord is telling us that we're going to serve even wood and stone. The gods of these religions, we started to serve them as a people. You understand? When we are scattered from one end of the earth even to the other, which comes through the transatlantic slave trade, we started to serve other gods. We forget our God, we forget our Passover. We forget our feast days, our high holy days. You understand? We forget the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Feast of Tabernacles, Feast of First Fruits, Memorial Blowing of Trumpets. You understand? The Day of Atonement. We forget these things and started to serve other God. You understand? And when you look at our people today, it's the same thing happening. It comes right down the line. Right up to today. Serving other gods, wood and stone. The two dominant religions on the earth right now. You understand? Give me 68.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again.
You understand? And Moses is telling us when we are scattered to the four corners of the earth, you understand? The Lord is going to do what? Bring us into Egypt again. Egypt meaning bondage. Go ahead.
Again, with ships.
Read it from it up again, verse 68, Baba Kusha.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Lord is going to bring blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, our people, our nation, into bondage again. But this time, we're going to go into bondage, wow, in ships. You understand? Going into the transatlantic slave trade. You understand? When these native Africans sold our people to the Arabs, the so-called white man. You understand? When they had that slave trade going on, the Lord saying that He's going to bring us into bondage again. And when we came on this side, you understand? When we were scattered to the four corners of the earth, we was under bondage. We wasn't taken from the west coast of Africa and, you know what I mean, on a cruise going to these different places. We fled from Jerusalem into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution. You understand? Under General Pompey and his men, his team, fled into Africa. Why? Again, we failed to adhere to the rules, the laws, the commandments of the Most High. And while we was in Africa, these Arabs, the so-called oppressor, the Africans, the native Africans, they wronged us up, sold us to these people. They carried us to different parts of the Americas. You understand? It's a prophecy whereby the Lord said we will be scattered to the four corners of the earth. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I speak unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there,
Thou shalt see it what?
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And the seeing it no more again is talking about the homeland. So for black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You understand? You're not going to see our homeland, Jerusalem, again. Right?
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
And there where you will be scattered, you're going to be sold, not to your friends, but to your enemies. The Lord is saying you're going to be sold unto your enemies. Go ahead.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
For what?
For bondmen.
For slave men.
And bondwomen.
And slave women.
And no man shall buy you.
The Lord is telling you, so for black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, that no man is going to buy you, meaning no man is going to redeem you from this captivity. You understand? No man is going to redeem you after you have been sold from bondmen and bondwomen. So if the Lord is telling us as a nation and as a people that no man is going to redeem us, then who is the one that is supposed to redeem the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man from this oppression, from this slavery that we are in as a nation? Who is the one supposed to do it if the Lord says no man is going to do it? You understand? That is why so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, there is another coming of Christ. You understand? We have black leaders that rised up thinking that they was going to deliver so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians from the oppression that we was in under the hands of the so-called white man, under the hands of the oppressor, and they failed miserably because the Lord already prophesied that no man is going to redeem us. You understand? And yet still, we are here in 2026 as bondmen and bondwomen to these other nations. You understand? Although you're going on a nice corporate job, you're driving a taxi, you understand, or you're working your farmland or whatsoever the case might be, you are servitude to these other nations. Look at it as from a nation perspective. You understand? These 12 tribes, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Look at what's happening with our Mexican and our Hispanic brothers in America. Look at what's happening to our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, leaving their homeland to go to these other nations, to go to the Americas, to work, to send back things for their family. You understand? That is not a free nation. That is not a free people. That is a people that is under servitude. You understand? When you look at the ratio of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, for example, they might building houses. You understand? Owning different things. Never getting it, like, let me say, like how the oppressors them have it when the train reach 18. They don't have certain things already. You understand? We are the ones in servitude, so now we have to go on the grind. You understand? Just like our parents did and parents before them did, the best way that they could to make sure they could pass back something through the generational line for their people, for their children, for their family. You understand? We are in servitude to these other nations. The Lord saying that is going to bring us into bondage. Ships, this is what happened to us. Shackles and chains. We came to these parts. You understand? To be slaves, bondmen and bondwomen to the East Indians, Chinese, Syrians, all these other nations. Because look at us today. We are in all their establishments. We are in all their businesses, building their empire continuously. Not because they have a few success stories of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, mean that our nation is delivered. No. You understand? Yes, there are true success stories, but looking at the nation on a whole, our people is still at the bottom. Our people is still in servitude. Our people is still in the ghetto, still in the barrios, still in the slums, under oppression from these other nations. You understand? Give me the book of Exodus, chapter 3, right? Exodus chapter 3, we start at verse 7, Baba Kusha.
The book of Exodus chapter 3 and verse 7. And the Most High said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry.
The Lord is saying to the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, He's saying, surely he have seen the affliction of his people, which are what? Which are in Egypt, which are in bondage. The Lord seeing what happened to us, what's happening to the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. He's seeing how these other nations are dealing with us. He's seeing our affliction. You understand? Go ahead.
3 and 7.
Read from
Right.
again, Baba Kusha, Exodus chapter 3 and verse 7.
Can. And the Most High said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry. And I've heard their cry.
Understand? Because our people be crying because of the affliction that we are under. Same thing that's happening today. You understand? When you look at the crying, you're talking about people protesting and marching. You understand? People begging for jobs. Can't see the way. You understand? People being evicted from homes because they can't pay or maintain their bills. The Lord saying that He's seeing the affliction and He's hearing the cry of our people. You understand? Go ahead.
Can. Right. And I've heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters.
Done what?
Heard their cry.
The Lord saying that He have heard the cries of these people. You understand? His people. Go ahead.
By reason of their taskmasters.
Reasons of the people that is over them. You understand? Go ahead.
For I know their sorrows. In the verse.
Where to verse 8, Baba Kusha? We're going right down to verse 11.
And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians.
And you have done what?
Come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land unto a good land, and unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
Understand? And we're going to read that deliverance as we go a little while down into the class. The Lord is saying that He have come to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians. You understand? Out of that servitude that they are under. For delivering them from the cries. You understand? By reasons of their taskmasters. And it's the same thing going to happen again to the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You understand? The Lord is going to deliver us from the cries. By reason from the taskmasters. By reason from these oppressors, these white devils. You understand? These East Indians, these Syrians. The Lord is going to do it again. Once we as a nation return, start keeping the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes. You understand? Once we start doing as the Lord tells us to do, gather ourselves, O nation not desired, we start keeping these high holy days and these feast days, the Lord is going to deliver us from the hands of our taskmasters. But what we have to get in our head, what we have to understand is that we are not free. We are under servitude under these other nations. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Flowing with milk and honey. Onto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites. And
read from verse 8 to the top again, Baba Kusha.
Exodus chapter 3 and verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land onto a good land.
So the Lord is saying that He's going to deliver us from the hand of the Egyptians, bring us out of that land onto what? A good land. You understand? Go ahead.
And a land flowing with milk and honey.
A land flowing with what?
Milk and honey.
Mm-hmm.
Unto the place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Verse 9. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them.
You understand? The Lord is saying that He is seeing the oppression whereby the Egyptians oppress them. Don't feel that the Lord not seeing the oppressions that black Hispanics and Native Indians are going through under the hands of the East Indians or the Syrians or the Chinese. You understand? The Lord seeing what happening to all our people, all His people. The Lord is seeing what the other nations is doing unto them, the oppression that they are facing. You understand? Go to verse 10, Baba Kusha.
Exodus 3 and 10. Come now therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
You understand? So the Lord is saying, telling Moses, come. Come, and I will send you unto Pharaoh. You understand? That my people is going to get that deliverance out of Egypt. Go ahead to verse 11, Baba Kusha.
Exodus 3 and 11. And Moses said unto the Most High, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?
So Moses is saying, who's me? That I should go, you understand? Unto Pharaoh, who's me? But when you read different parts, you're going to understand that Moses had a speech impairment. You understand? So now it's like he asking himself, he doubting himself that he could go to Moses. Just like many people will doubt, you understand, the people that the Lord set as taskmasters, not taskmasters, I should say, sorry, but as officers. Many people that the Lord set in place, many people will doubt that. You understand? And plenty of people is going to doubt themselves that the Lord has called them to do this work, to do this job. You understand? Because like me, how I can go out and do what them doing. I can't go out and do that. You understand? But knowing the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, knowing the brothers that is around, could do this work so for black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian. You understand? Give me Exodus chapter 4. Right? We start at verse 10.
The book of Exodus chapter 4 and verse 10. And Moses said unto the Most High, O my power, I am not eloquent.
Not what?
Eloquent. Neither therefore, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech, and of a slow tongue.
You understand? So this is what Moses said. Moses said that he's slow in speech, he have a slow tongue. You understand? So he doubting that he could go before Pharaoh for Pharaoh to take him serious. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Verse 11. And the Most High said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth?
Lord said what?
Who hath made man's mouth?
This is the thing so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man that we always have to remember. You understand? Lord is telling Moses, who make him up? You understand? Who giving you these words? Who giving you this authority? This is not something that you just doing on your own. You understand? I, the Lord thy God, that's saying that there's no God else but me, giving you this authority, giving you these words to go before Pharaoh, to deliver the children of Israel out of Egypt. You understand? Go ahead. Yeah, take it back from 11 again, Bible because
Exodus 4 and verse 11. And the Most High said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth? Or who maketh the dumb?
Who make it what?
Or who maketh the dumb? Or deaf? Or the seeing? Or the blind? Have not I the Most High?
Understand? The Lord is the one who does all these things. Just as the scripture says. The Lord says he making the blind, he making the deaf, he making the dumb. You understand? All those that see. The Lord is the one who's doing it. So when the Lord says, Who have made your mouth? The Lord is telling you who is the one that has given you the authority, the speech to go before Pharaoh. It's not you. It's I who do it, the one that make the blind, make the dumb, make the deaf. You understand? Because Moses studying, I slow in speech. Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Karunkan. Verse 12. Now therefore go, and I will be with thee. Salakia. Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth.
The Lord is saying, therefore go. And I is going to be with your mouth. Why, Baba Kusha?
And teach thee what thou shalt say.
And what he's going to do?
And teach thee what thou shalt say.
And he's saying he's going to teach him what you should say to Pharaoh. You understand? Go ahead.
And he said, O my power, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send.
You understand? And he's asking the Lord, he said, Lord, still send somebody. All the Lord tell him, go. Lord, show me. I make it blind, I make it deaf, I controlling this. You go ahead and I will teach you what to say. You understand? He's still saying, Lord, send somebody who you feel could roll with me. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Verse 14. And the anger of the Most High was kindled against Moses.
And the what?
And the anger of the Most High was kindled against Moses.
The Lord got angry because the Lord trying to show him, hey, I running this. But Moses still doubting himself. He's still saying, Lord, send somebody. You understand? Because he knowing what in his mind, he knowing what might like what I might say, or I might do, or how I slow in speech. They might make fun of me. But the Lord telling him, go. The Lord telling Moses, go. I will teach you what to say. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
And he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
You understand? So the Lord is saying that Aaron, when he see you, he's going to be glad. You understand? So all the Moses about speech and prayer, man, can't talk good. You understand? The Levite, his brother Aaron, is going to meet him and he's going to be glad. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Kanunkan. Verse 15. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth.
Who's going to do it?
And thou shalt speak unto him,
Mhm.
and put words in his mouth. And I will be with thee, with thy mouth, Salakia, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do.
Lord is saying, I go teach him. You go tell him what to say. I will do it your mouth and his mouth. You understand? The things that Paul is going to be speaking, not going to be something different. I will be with his mouth and your mouth. That authority I will be given all of that. You understand? And he's going to do what? Teach them what to do. Give me chapter 5 and verse 1. You understand? So now Lord is going to talk to Moses. Moses is going to talk to Aaron. You understand? So Aaron now is going to do all the talking for Moses. You understand? Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 5 and verse 1. And afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus said the Most High, the Most High power of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness.
You understand? So Moses and Aaron are going on to Pharaoh, tell him, hey, let the people go from this hard bondage, from this servitude that they're under, that they may do what? Hold a feast unto the Lord in the wilderness. You understand? Not saying, let me go to our own land. You understand? Let me separate myself. He's saying, let my people go so that they will do what? Hold a feast in the wilderness. Where, Bab Kusha?
Kanunkan. Right, verse 2. And Pharaoh said, Who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go.
You understand? Just like it is today. You understand? These oppressors, they don't know the Most High. They don't know the judgment that the Most High. They don't know the things that the Most High is going to do to them for his people. You understand? So Pharaoh is saying, who's the Lord? Because remember in Egypt, they will say not how much hundreds of different gods. You understand? They were worshiping gods that they feel or they felt had power for them, for their people or for their nation. You understand? So it's like, this is God I Israel, that I should let them go. You understand? It's like you walking up to a Syrian now and telling him, hey, watch, the Lord go do so. You guys watch, like, what are you talking about? You understand why he's sitting them? Because they have their gods, their 99 gods in a cow, or whatsoever the case might be. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 3. And they said, The God of the Hebrews hath met with us. Let us go, we pray thee. 3 days journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Most High our power, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword.
So he's saying, hey, the God of the Hebrews, you understand? Let him know, hey, not your gods, the gods of our people, is telling us, hey, we need to go 3 days journey in the desert. You understand? Make the sacrifice to the Lord before plagues and pestilence fall upon us. Why, Baba Kusha?
Kanunkan verse 4. And the king of Egypt said unto them, Wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works get you unto your
You
burdens?
understand? So he's saying unto Pharaoh and Moses, why you want the people to come up from their works, from their burdens? You understand? Go back and do what it is all you're supposed to do. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And Pharaoh said, Behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens.
You understand? So Pharaoh is saying, hey, the people of the land are many. Look, all you're making them do what? Rest from their burdens. And if you could translate that to today, it's like a man had to go to work every day. Sunday to Sunday. You understand? You get up 6 in the morning, and you're going right down till sometimes 7, 8 in the night. And when you're thinking you had the weekend off, nah, you have to work Saturday. Nah, you have to work Sunday. No rest from the burdens because they're watching their economy. Don't feel it's just Pharaoh and let my people go and the excitement. Nah, you're just watching the economy. they're watching that the people are many. You understand? And if they could get these people to work every day, not resting from their burdens, people are economy going to go up. You understand? Thing going to boom, Egypt going to be the place. Where Baba Kusha?
Verse 6. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, verse 7, ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick. As heretofore, let them go and gather straw for
You
themselves.
understand? So what he's saying is, make the burdens a little more hard on them. You understand? Don't make it easy. Don't make them be able to afford cars that they could come to work. You understand? Give them just give them enough. Have to come to more. You understand? Let them make the brick with straw. And if you look, for example, how this whole governance system set up right now, with the East Indians in governance and holding certain key positions all over the place, they're making the burden for our people more of. You understand? So when you think you could go on, as you were saying earlier on, you can have the weekend off, you had to keep it going. You had to keep it like clockwork. If you want to achieve certain things, you understand, you might want to build a house, you might want to buy a car. We're just looking at these basic commodities. You understand? You had to keep on the grind. You had to keep on the gun. It had no relaxation for the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. We ain't talking about the hours in the morning that they had to start to get up to rule and the hours that they're coming back here. You understand? We ain't started to talk about who's seen after the children and stuff like that, because the place getting so hard. You understand? The taskmasters making it so hard that both parents have to rule. You understand? Read it from the top again, Baba Kusha.
Exodus 5 and verse 7. Ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick, as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves.
Let's go and gather the straw for themselves. You understand? You give them that straw to make brick. Let them go outside it and gather it for themselves. You understand? So now certain things like certain help and certain supports that the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man might have. You understand? You're realizing all these things are being cut off slowly and without even notice or warning. So now you have people coming and complain, but it used to have this, it used to have that. You understand? You ain't getting that support or that help that they used to get. Now you have to do what? Go and make your own brick with your own straw. That is what's happening right now to the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian man in Trinidad. And when you listen to the stories from our brothers, you understand, in Jamaica and in England and these places in the US, same thing happening. Slowly but surely. You understand? And it's happening so subtle that you can't even see it. So unless something arrives, you understand, then you realize, but wait, now, you saw this? How come? You understand? Changing rapid. Because we are in servitude, so-called Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, to these other nations. You understand? Go ahead. Give me. Jump down to verse 22.
Same chapter?
Yeah, same chapter down to verse 22.
The book of Exodus, chapter 5 and verse 22. And Moses returned unto the Most High and said, Lord, wherefore hast thou so evil entreated this people? Why is it that thou hast sent me?
You understand? Because when the Lord gave Moses the task to go and deal with Pharaoh, you understand? Every time he go, Pharaoh doing something to increase the burdens of the people in Israel, of this nation. You understand? And Moses seeing that every time he go to Pharaoh, it's like Pharaoh getting more angry. So Moses now asking the Lord, you understand? Lord, wherefore hast thou so evil entreated this people? Why is it that thou hast sent me? You understand? Because now the backlash coming on him. Where to verse 23, Baba Kusha?
The book of Exodus 5 and 23. For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he had done evil to this
You
people.
understand? Since he going to Pharaoh over and over, more evil upon the children of Israel. The backlash falling on Moses because people asking and wanted to know what going on. At this point in time here was a very challenging time. You understand? For Moses. Because every time you go to Pharaoh concerning the Lord, burdens increase. Moses now is like, Lord, but how every time I go to Pharaoh, you understand? For the people, Pharaoh keep increasing the burden. And it's obviously people they go to Moses to get answers. You understand? Read it from top 23 again, Baba Kusha. Go right on down to the end.
Karanka in the book of Exodus 5:23. For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he had done evil to this people, neither hast thou delivered thy people at all.
You understand? And Moses watching like deliverance and coming to the super black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. The deliverance and coming to the nation of Israel are speaking to Pharaoh and going to him back and forth. You understand? The people turning at men out because they want the answers. Then Moses watching the people ain't getting delivered. So what really going on? You understand? Again, this was a very challenging time for Moses, and these are the things you understand that the black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man have to understand when coming to serve the Lord. Lord is telling them for gold is going to be tried in the fire. We think we trial is like, you know what I mean? You get up in the morning and stomp your toe. You understand? Or your car break down for gas or these kind of things. Lord is saying to the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, it's paraphrasing scriptures, for gold is tried in the fire. There are things that the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man is going to go through when it comes to serving the Lord. Seeing an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. You understand? These things is going to happen. When you look at this story right here with Moses and all this scene whereby Moses get tried. You understand? These is the things that the religious leaders are supposed to be teaching in the Christian church, showing you the things that when it comes to serve the Lord, what possibilities could happen, the doubts that is going to come into your mind. You understand? Make you feel like, nah, buddy, I can't do this. I can't let my people go. You understand? Where is with Exodus chapter 6, Baba Kusha? Start at verse 5.
Karanka in the book of Exodus chapter 6 and verse 5. And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel.
The Lord is saying, hey, I hear the groaning of the children of Israel. Moses facing Pharaoh. Going back to the Lord, telling the Lord, hey, look, the people, they're crying. You understand? The Lord is saying what? I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Karanka, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant.
Who the Egyptians done what? Keep in bondage, keeping them in that servitude position. You understand? Black people can rise up. You understand? To help other black people at all. These other nations are keeping the boots on the neck. You understand? The Lord saying, he hear what? He hear the groaning, he hear the cries of these people. You understand? And all this happened because we fail to follow the laws of the Most High. We just fail to obey the Lord's commandments and statutes that the Lord say, hey, this is what we have to do, this is what we have to keep, this is what we have to follow. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha. Take it from the top again.
6 and 5, right?
Yeah, Baba Kusha.
Book of Exodus chapter 6 and verse 5. And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant. Verse 6. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Most High, I am the Most High, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments.
You understand? So the Lord is telling Moses, hey, speak to the children of Israel. Tell them that I'm going to bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, just like brothers and sisters in the school today, from the general, commanding general, and I come right down to officer 50. You understand? Speaking to the children of Israel and letting them know, hey, this servitude that we under the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, under the East Indians, under the Chinese, we're going to come out from this condition that we're going to come out from under the foots of their necks. You understand? Same thing was happening with Moses having to tell the children of Israel. It's the same thing happening today. You understand? Given that reassurance that we're going to come out, you understand, from under the hard burdens of these oppressors. Go ahead, Baba Kosha. You understand? He's saying he's going to redeem us with a stretched out hand and with great judgments. You understand what these judgments, punishments. These other nations is going to feel the wrath of the Most High for the things that they have done. You understand? For the oppression that our people have been under for over 400 years. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kosha.
Exodus chapter 6 and verse 7. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God.
It comes right back to what we always say in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. The holy people are separate people to the Most High. The Lord saying that it's going to take us, you understand, to be his people, go ahead, and he will be our God, go ahead.
And ye shall know that I am the Most High your power, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians.
You understand? And when the Lord is going to redeem us with this stretched out arm and with great judgments, we're going to know that the Lord, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is the one that brought us out from under the hands and the burdens of the Egyptians. We're going to know it. We're going to understand that it's not the gods of the Egyptians, or not Pharaoh, or not Moses, or not Aaron. We're going to know this power, all these great judgments came from the Most High God, the God that we're supposed to be serving. You understand? Go ahead, Papa Kusha. Verse 8. Verse 9, 8 and 9.
Exodus 6 and verse 8. And I will bring you out, Slaki, and I will bring you in unto the land, concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and I will give it you for an inheritance, for Slaki, for an heritage. I am the Most High.
So
Verse 9.
No, not Slaki. Yeah, go ahead.
And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit and for cruel bondage.
You understand? So the Lord saying that the land that he swore to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? Just as we just say, word is a bond. Word that the Most High say that he's going to do for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he said that he's going to give it to us for what? A heritage. I am the Lord. I am the one busting the shot. You understand? And when Moses speak to the children of Israel, you understand? What happened? They happened not. Because for anguish of spirit, too much burdens, too much problem, they want to hear. You understand? For anguish of spirit, and as the scriptures say, bondage, for the oppression that we are under. So it's like you're going out on the street, you understand, and you're telling the people, hey, the white man is the devil. We're under oppression. You understand? We are crossed here because of slavery. They didn't want to hear. Because boy, you have to study. Bondage that we under. We had to study, boy. We had to go to work tomorrow. You understand? You see me, I get my little food to eat. You understand? Let me eat my food. Me studying all the way that Bible thing. You understand? The oppression was so dread in Egypt that the people in heartening spirit, you understand? They can't hear what Moses said. The anguish of spirit. Give me chapter 7 and verse 3, Baba Kusha.
Come down the book of Exodus, chapter 7 and verse 3. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart.
And he's going to do what?
Harden Pharaoh's heart.
What is saying? That he's going to what? Harden Pharaoh's heart. Jump up the verse. Give us 7 and 1, Baba Kusha.
Exodus 7 and 1. And the Most High said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a God to Pharaoh, and Aaron, thy brother, shall be thy prophet.
So to Pharaoh, Moses was like a God. You understand? And Aaron, his brother, prophet. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Verse 2.
Hmm?
Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land.
Lord speaking to Moses, Moses speaking to Aaron, Aaron speaking to Pharaoh, telling Pharaoh that they need to send the children of Israel out of the land so that they could keep their feast to the Most High before plagues and pestilence come upon them. And all the acts was for 3 days. They asked Pharaoh for 3 days. So that is like, we want to work this weekend and Monday. You understand? But Pharaoh, them, when they check out that match for their economy, they ain't working out. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt.
Who's going to do that? The Lord saying that he is going to harden Pharaoh's heart. You understand? And this is something that we have to take into serious consideration as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because the Lord saying that he hardened Pharaoh's heart. So then what could he do to these oppressors that is over Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians today? You understand? The Lord is saying that he hardened Pharaoh's heart. So sometimes watching that, hey boy, these nations and them, they're fighting me, boy, the this, the that. See more the self. You understand? But we don't understand the workings of the Most High. These things could be happening because the Lord allowing it to happen. So that Black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians could see the atrocities of these other nations. And what we're going to do, understand, what we're going to do, gather ourselves together. We're going to understand that these other nations, they are not for us. They are not here to support us. They are not here to help us. The Lord say, he hardened Pharaoh's heart. And if we was listening earlier when we spoke about the Lord, say that he make the mouth, he make the dumb, he make the blind, he make the deaf. You understand? So when you see these religious leaders and these politicians functioning, don't know what's going on. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Now, verse 4, you have to jump down to something else. So,
Take it from him. Take it back from verse 2.
All right. But Exodus chapter 7 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land.
You understand? So the Lord speaking to Aaron, the Lord speaking to Moses, Moses speaking to Aaron, Aaron speaking to Pharaoh. Let the people come out, you understand, from Egypt to serve the Lord. Go ahead.
Verse 3, and I will harden Pharaoh's heart.
And the Lord say that he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart. You understand? He's not going to make Pharaoh make the children of Israel leave Egypt to serve him for 3 days. Go ahead.
And multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt.
The Lord say go harden his heart, but he's going to do something very important. Multiply his signs and his wonders in Egypt. Go ahead.
Verse 4, but Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you.
But what?
But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you.
You understand? But Pharaoh is not going to listen. Not going to listen to Moses. He's not going to listen to the man that is in charge over Israel. He's not going to listen, you understand, to the things that the Lord say, hey, go to Pharaoh, tell Pharaoh this way after. The Lord saying that he is the one that hardened Pharaoh's heart. Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Kanunkan, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt and bring forth mine armies and my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgments. Verse 5, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Most High.
You understand? So the Lord saying, Pharaoh not going to happen. You understand? To the things that all this. You understand? He's saying he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart. Go ahead.
When I stretch forth mine hand upon Egypt and bring out the children of Israel from among them.
You understand? The Lord saying the Egyptian is going to know. When he stretch forth his hand, you understand? Upon Egypt with these judgments or these things that is going to happen, they're going to know. You understand? The Egyptians going to know. Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because see that we're going along. Go to verse 6.
And in the book of Exodus, chapter 7 and verse 6. And Moses and Aaron did as the Most High commanded them. So did they.
You understand? So Moses and Aaron, all they're doing, just doing what the Lord commanded them to do. You understand? And the Lord making Pharaoh's heart more hard and more hard. Remember, chapter 11, Baba Kusha.
Kanunkan, the book of Slaki, give me down with us, Exodus 11, chapter 11. Kanunkan. Book of Exodus chapter 11 and verse what, 1?
Yeah.
Exodus and 11 and verse 1. And the Most High said unto Moses, Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterwards he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether.
You understand? So Moses now, the Lord now assuring Moses, hey, when I bring this plague, Pharaoh is going to drive all you out of Egypt. You understand? Go ahead.
Kanunkan. Verse 2. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. Verse 3. And the Most High gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants, and in the sight of the people. Verse 4. And Moses said, Thus said the Most High, after midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt. Verse 5. And all the firstborn of the land of Egypt shall die.
You understand? So the Lord gave Moses and Aaron the command, hey, go to the ears of the people that the bow from Egypt, you understand, goes of silver, goes of jewel, you understand, jewels of gold, you understand? And what happened? In verse 3, the Lord is telling them that, and the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of Egyptians. So the Lord now made the people have favor in the sight of Egyptians. The Egyptians willingly, you understand, gave the Israelites or the Hebrews, Moses people, silver, gold, all these jewels, you understand? Read verse 4 again, Baba Kusha.
Kanunkan, the book of Exodus chapter 11 and verse 4. And Moses said, Thus said the Most High, after midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt.
You understand? And saying after midnight, the Lord is going to do what? Go out in the midst of Egypt. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And all the firstborn of the land of Egypt. Slack it.
And all the what?
And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die.
All the firstborn in the land of Egypt is going to die. Go ahead.
From the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne.
So from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sits on the throne, go ahead.
Even unto the firstborn of the maidservant
Maidservants
that is behind the mill. And all the firstborn of beasts.
And all the firstborn of beasts. So all animals, goat, cow, sheep, rat, cat, everything. Firstborn, chicken in the coop, everything. The Lord saying the firstborn of all beasts. You understand? The firstborn of Pharaoh that's sitting on the throne. So he's starting from the head, going right down. You understand? Go ahead to verse 6, Baba Kusha.
And there shall be a great cry.
And there's going to be what?
A great cry.
We're going to read about that cry later on in the class. Go ahead.
Throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore.
That cry that had happened in Egypt, Lord saying there was none going to be like it, and after that, they're not going to hear a cry like that at all. So, which means that what happened in Egypt that night was very terrible. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Most High doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
You understand? And at this time, no dog, no beast put a tongue between the Egyptians and Israel. You understand? Sorry. Against man or beast, that you may know that the Lord do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. You understand? Which goes to show Egyptians and Israelites, two different people. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Verse 8. And all these thy servants shall come down unto me, and bow down themselves unto me, saying, Get thee out, and all the people that follow thee. And after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger. Verse 9. And the Most High said unto Moses, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you.
You understand? So after Moses did all that, Lord said, Pharaoh still is not going to happen unto you. Lord waxing his hard, more hard, and more hard. Go ahead.
That my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt.
Because the Lord have something to do. So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. That is what Pharaoh had again. You understand? Every time Moses go to Pharaoh, hey, Pharaoh, this is what the Lord requires. Do this. He wanted to do it. But they didn't realize that the Lord waxing his heart harder and harder because the Lord have something to do. You understand? Go ahead, Bible Pusher.
Verse 9. And the Most High said unto Moses, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. Verse 10. And Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh. And the Most High hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land.
You understand? So the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. Children of Israel will lead the land. You understand? Now we're going to get to the Passover itself. You understand? Give it Exodus chapter 12. Start at verse 1 by
The book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying.
Right, so we're going to go over the Lord's Passover, right? You understand? Preparation for the Lord's Passover, you're going to see whereby the plagues that hit Egypt, you're going to see the Lord passing through Egypt, you understand, and delivering the children of Israel out of this hard burden, out of this hard bondage under the hands of these other nations or the Egyptians, right? And also to how we, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we following the instructions of the Most High is going to be delivered from our oppressor here, where we are scattered to the four corners of the earth. But we must do as the Lord tells us in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourself together. Gather yourself together, O nation not desired. Just paraphrasing, you understand? And it's not just gathering because there's another black group going to form, there's another black organization. We need to gather where the truth is. Where the truth is according to the Bible, where you could learn the history of your forefathers and what they did. You understand? After they sinned against the Most High, in order to obtain that favor from the Lord, for the Lord to give them that deliverance. You understand? Where we gather in so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man in the ISUK under commanding general. Here's your base, here's your group. You understand? Where Bible Pusher?
It is again 12 and 2.
Give them one Bible Pusher.
Book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
So now the Lord is speaking to Aaron and Moses and telling them, this month is going to be the first month of the year to you. You understand? Most of us might believe that January 1st, you understand, it's the first month of the year, which is not so. January 1st, New Year's Day, it's just fashioned after a Roman and Greek god called Janus. You understand? So when we celebrate New Year's Day or January 1st, we're just going after another god. You understand? A God that is not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or foreparents, or us as a nation. You understand? These are the gods from the other nations, and the Lord told us. You understand? In the book of Jeremiah, learn not the ways of the heathen. The ways of the heathen is serving other gods. You understand? These other nations or these heathens, they have gods for every month of the year. You understand? Every day of the week. You understand? And they fashion their whole culture and their whole lifestyle after these other gods. That's why they have all these horoscopes and these different things. And if you notice through the scriptures, they will hear the Lord saying in the 20th day of the 5th month. The Lord showing you what is the first month, the month of Abib. You understand what you might touch on? You understand? But they ain't hearing like how the Roman calendar, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. You understand? Why? Because the Lord don't want us to fashion ourselves, worshiping the months, worshiping horoscopes and all these different things. You understand? These things and these ways are the customs of these other nations. You understand? Read from the top again, Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1.
The book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Verse 3, speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month.
Understand? So in the 10th day of this month, You understand? This month which shall be the beginning of months to you. In the 10th day, go ahead.
They shall take to them every man a lamb.
You understand? So he's speaking to the congregation of Israel and letting them know they shall take a lamb, every man, go ahead. Take it from
They should
top
take
again,
a man.
verse 3.
Exodus 12 and verse 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an
You
house.
understand? According to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house, go ahead. To verse 4.
Verse 4. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto him, unto his house, take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb.
You understand? So if your household be too little, neighbor next year, you take it according to the number that is in that house. You understand? So some families might have 2, 3, whatsoever the case might be. Neighbor next year, come together because that lamb have to be eaten that day or that night. You understand? I'm not remaining for tomorrow. And a lamb for a household, for a family, are too much. You understand? It's going to remain, you understand, for the next day. But the Lord is saying that your neighbor next year, bring them over and divide it or take the lamb according to the number of people in the household. Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Verse 4. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish.
The lamb should be what?
Without blemish.
So this lamb should be without blemish. You understand? This lamb shouldn't be sick. You understand? Or missing a foot, or missing a ears. You understand? The Lord saying this lamb should be without blemish. Go ahead.
A male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. Verse 6. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month.
You understand? So the Lord is saying, this lamb, remove it from the sheep and from the goats. You understand? If you're into animal husbandry or you might have an idea about it, there's something called, when you remove these animals, like you're going and sell it or whatever the case might be, you take it out from among the rest of animals and they just keep fattening it up. You understand? You fatten up this animal because they want to get it ready for sale. So now when you take this animal from among the sheep and from the goat, you specifically dealing with this animal, you understand? Up until the 14th day. You understand? There's something called, what you might? Fattening pens. So just put them animals in one before the sort of them to carry them for sale and whatever the case might be. You understand? You just keep pumping that animal with food. You understand? For them to put on more weight than the others in the pen. Right? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
So like way out again?
Take it from verse 5.
All right. Exodus chapter 12 and verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. Verse 6. And you shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month.
Right, so you're keeping it up, meaning you keep feeding him up until the 14th day of the same month.
And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening.
So now all the families that have lambs, you understand, will be killing this lamb in the evening. You understand? Where Baba Kusha?
Verse 7. And ye shall take of the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it.
You understand? And the command was when they kill the lamb, all the congregation come together and be killing the lamb at the same time at the evening. You understand? Be taking the blood, be striking it on the doorposts, the 2 side posts and over the door, which you might call the lintel. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 8. And they shall eat the flesh in that night.
And they shall do what?
Eat the flesh in that night.
You understand? That night, you're going to eat the flesh of the lamb. Go ahead.
Roast with fire.
You're going to eat it with what?
roast with fire,
roasting it with fire. Go ahead.
and unleavened bread,
Mm-hmm.
and with bitter herbs. They shall eat it.
So you're eating the lamb roast with fire, unleavened bread. You understand? You're removing all the leavening agents from your house within that timing. You understand? But that is bread without yeast that you will be eating. You understand? That night initiates the feast of unleavened bread also. So the Lord is telling you, going to eat the lamb with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. You understand? Bitter herbs will be like water crystals, like where we have down here, onions. You understand? Garlics. That is what they're eating the lamb with. You understand? Because now our nation, our people is getting ready to leave Egypt. You understand? So roasting it with fire, eating it with bitter herbs, without unleavened bread. There ain't no time for no bread to set. You understand? And raise and then put in the oven. Nah, making that bread without leavening agents, without rising agents. You understand? And we eating that, right? Go ahead.
Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Eat not of it raw.
Eat not of it what?
Raw.
Because we're going to live fast. So you might think, you know what I mean? Nah, but we just eat peace and then we bust. Nah, the Lord is telling us, don't eat it raw. You understand? Don't eat this raw. Roast it with fire. This is the command, this is the instructions that was given to Moses to give to the children of Israel in preparation from that deliverance out of Egypt. You understand? From the Lord with a mighty hand and a stretched out hand. Go ahead, Bible preacher.
Like here. Nor sudden at all with water.
You understand? Or sudden at all with water, because we think that it will be something fast that we could do. You understand? So when he says sudden with water, he's talking about boiling it. Don't even boil it. Don't eat it raw. Don't boil it. You understand? Roast it with fire, eat it with bitter herbs. You understand? Go ahead.
Son of God. That's the I told him to
Go ahead and scan that when you finish.
Son of God.
You understand? So now we're prepping to leave Egypt. You understand? We're prepping to leave the Passover, to eat the Passover. You understand? Whereby the Lord is going to deliver the nation of Israel from Egypt. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Son of God. Right. But roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof.
Read from verse 8, Baba.
Son of God, Exodus chapter 12 and verse 8. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire, on unleavened bread.
So eating it roast with fire, unleavened bread, right?
And with bitter herbs, they shall eat it. Verse 9. Eat not of it raw, nor sudden at all with water.
Understand? Do eat it raw, do boil it, right?
But roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof.
Roast it with fire, head, legs, pertinence thereof, right?
Verse 10. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. Verse 11. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded.
Eating it what?
With your loins girded.
That is why we dress the way we dress. So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, at the Lord's Passover. You understand? The Lord's saying you're eating it with your loins girded. Go ahead.
Your shoes on your feet.
Shoes on your feet, ready to go.
And your staff in your hand.
And your what?
And your staff in your hand.
Because what the Lord was going to do to the nation, you understand what the Lord was going to do for the nation of Israel against the Egyptians? With the firstborn of everything going and die, you going to see an Egyptian knocking on your door. But after you hear them screams, them coming at you because they want to know, hey, what happened here? Why this happened? So the Lord is telling you, eat it with your loins girded, shoes on your feet, staff in your hand. You understand? And that is how we keep the Passover in the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana. Every time. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
It is the Lord's Passover. Verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt.
And against what?
All the gods of Egypt.
This is something we have to pay close attention to. The Lord saying that He's going to pass over the land of Egypt this night. Smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from both man and beast. You understand? And against all the gods of Egypt. You understand? So which means the Lord is going to attack their power system, or their gods that they believe in, to show them that there is no gods. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Kanunkan, I will execute judgment. I am the Most High.
He's going to do what?
I will execute judgment. I am the Most High.
Mhm.
We done?
Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Verse 13, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses
Mhm.
where ye are.
You understand? The Lord saying that he's going to execute judgment. Punishment is going to happen to the people, to the Egyptians. You understand? In Egypt. The Lord saying the blood is going to be for you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, as a token. It's a token, like a sign. You understand? A symbol. Go ahead.
And when I see the
Can you bring it
blood,
up again, Baba Kusha, verse 13.
Kanunkan, Exodus chapter 12 and verse 13, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are.
So it's going to be for a sign. Go ahead.
And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you.
You understand? So he's saying that this blood is going to be for a sign. When this death angel pass, not going to pass by you. You understand? It's going to pass over you. And the plague is not going to do what? Come upon Israel and destroy Israel. Go ahead.
When I smite the land of Egypt. Verse 14,
Mhm.
and this day shall be unto you for a memorial.
This day shall be what?
Unto you for a
This
memorial.
day is supposed to be a memorial. You understand? Something that we as a people are supposed to always remember. You understand? It's like how to have a 9/11. Don't forget 9/11. And every time that time come around, you always remembering the things that happened in 9/11. Every time the first of the month come with the Lord saying this will be the first month unto you, we're supposed to always remember and keep the Lord's Passover. You understand? Just as Moses commanded us to observe and to eat with we garment, shoes on our feet, sword in our hand. Always in preparation. You understand? Always ready to move. Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
You shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. Verse 15, 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread.
Mhm.
Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your
You
houses.
understand? So 7 days they're going to eat unleavened bread. From the first day, which means from the day before the sundown, you're putting away all leavened products from your house. You understand? Go ahead.
For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel.
Mhm.
Verse 16, and in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the seventh day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you.
Mhm.
Verse 17, ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this same day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever.
So the first day, you understand, and into the seventh day shall be what? A holy convocation. You understand? This is the time to put black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man should be together. Lord saying it's a holy convocation, it's a separate convocation. You understand? And we should do what? Observe the feast of unleavened bread. On the self-same day, I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. You understand? Because again, the Lord's Passover, when it eat the unleavened bread, it initiates the feast of unleavened bread. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
18. The verse of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 18.
Take it from verse 17, Baba
Verse
Kusha.
17. And he shall observe the feast of unleavened bread.
Mhm.
For in this self same day have I brought your enemies out of the land of Egypt,
Your armies.
your armies out of the land of Egypt.
Mhm.
Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever.
So we have to observe the Lord's Passover and the feast of unleavened bread, because on that day is when the Lord brought our armies out of the land of Egypt. You understand? The Lord saying that we're supposed to do that when? Throughout our generations as an ordinance forever, which means till this day. Our parents supposed to be keeping that, and parents before them. and before that. You understand? It's supposed to come down from that time till now. We're supposed to always keep the Lord's Passover. You understand? This is the thing that we're supposed to be hearing about or learning in religion and the Christian church, which goes to show religion have nothing to do with the Bible. You understand? Religion have our people still stuck or celebrating Easter. You understand? Because they're saying that Easter, when they do the research, you'll realize that the word Easter that is mentioned in the Bible, it means Passover or Pascua. You understand? Which is something totally different from Easter laying, from bunnies laying eggs. That have nothing to do with that. You understand? If you watch through the history of the children of Israel, even when they go into the Chronicles, they ain't seen them talking about Easter. You understand? You ain't seen them talking about no bunnies laying eggs. Nothing like that. When you watch the history of the Israelites, you understand? And the high holy days and feast days that they keep, nothing close to what religion teaches. Even if you go way back when, into the times of the Greeks and the Romans, nothing close to what they did with their people and their gods. You understand? Which goes to show that the Lord, just as He's saying in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, made us to be what? Separate. We have our own way. We have our own way of life. You understand? Our own customs, our own rules to govern our people, to govern our nation. You understand? We're not supposed to be celebrating Easter, but rather the Lord's Passover, which goes into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
And ye, Salakia, in the first month, on the 4th, verse 18, in the first month of the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses.
7 days shall be what?
No leaven found in your houses.
You understand? So for 7 days, there shall be no leaven found in your houses. You understand? So once you know that the Lord's Passover is coming up, start organizing, you understand, to get all these leavening products, leavening agents out your houses. You understand? Because now we're going to celebrate the Lord's Passover, you're going to keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and also you have to eat unleavened bread for this time. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul.
What was that?
Verse 19.
All right. Offset as well. Yes.
Verse 19, Salakis.
Read for it again, Baba Kusha, warrior.
Can. Reading from verse 19. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land.
Right, so you don't want things like yeast and them kind of, them kind of things. You don't want cookies and certain bake, kind of them.
Where are those for us?
Verse 19.
What about 18?
Verse 18. The book of Numbers, chapter 12 and verse 18.
Numbers or Exodus?
Exodus, Numbers 12 and verse 18. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until 21st day of the month at even.
You understand? So you said in the first month, you understand, on the 14th day of the month, eating unleavened bread. Where Baba Kusha?
Verse 19. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses.
Right.
For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. Ye shall eat nothing leavened. In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread.
So you should eat no leaven in all your habitation, but you should eat what? Unleavened bread. Go ahead.
Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, Draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover.
You understand? So Moses is saying, take a lamb according to your families. Remember, we read earlier on, if families, if the lamb too big, you call your neighbors and them, your brothers and them, and you know what I mean? We share the lamb together. Go ahead.
And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lentil and the two posts with the blood that is in the basin.
You understand? So we taking the blood after we slaughter the lamb, dip it, put it on the two doorposts and the lentil. Go ahead.
And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning.
Understand? And nobody is to come out till when? Morning. Go ahead.
For the Most High will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lentil and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you.
Understand? So when we put the blood on the lentil and the two doorposts, the Lord saying that he's not going to suffer the destroyer to come upon our house. So now if we didn't do that, but we don't know what's going to happen to us. You understand? Which goes to show what? It is very important to listen to instructions. To listen to instructions that is given to us. Go ahead, Bible Kusha.
And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. And it shall come to pass, when ye come to the land which the Lord will give you, according as he had promised, that ye shall keep this service. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, What mean you by this service? That ye shall say, It is the service of the Lord's Passover.
Read it from it up again, verse 27.
Verse 27. That ye shall say, It is the service,
Sacrifice.
it is the sacrifice of the Lord's
You
Passover.
understand? So the Lord is telling us, you understand, when we observe this thing, this is something that we're supposed to observe observe this as an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever, which means we're supposed to continually do this through our generations. You understand? Pass it to our children pass it to their children also. And the Lord saying it shall come to pass. You understand? When we become in the land which the Lord will give you that he had promised, we shall also keep this service, which means even in the land where the Lord carrying us, where we're supposed to go, we should always keep the Passover. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed the head and worshipped. And the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron. So did they. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn
Give him the value in verse 29.
verse 29. That's not Salakia.
Verse 20. Roll back at verse 20 again, Bible question.
Come on, come. Verse 28. And the children of Israel went away and did as the Most High had commanded Moses and Aaron. So did they.
You understand? So whatsoever the Most High commanded Moses and Aaron, you understand, to do, to tell the children of Israel for them to do, they did exactly what Moses and Aaron told them. You understand? Go to verse 29.
Verse 29. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt.
So at midnight the Lord passed through. You understand? And did exactly as he said was going to happen. You understand? To the firstborn in the land of Egypt. The Lord passed at midnight and smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. You understand? Go ahead.
From the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat at his throne.
You understand? So Pharaoh's son, Pharaoh's firstborn son. You understand? Get touched up. You understand? He was smitten, he got smite, died. Go ahead.
Unto the firstborn of the, guess we like a rub off here. The captain that was in the dungeon.
You understand? So the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon. It don't matter which part it was. You understand? Once is that firstborn in Egypt, according to how the Lord says he's going to move, that is exactly what happened. Go ahead. The Lord said that his words do not return unto him void. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
And all the firstborn of cattle and Pharaoh rose up in the night.
You understand? So all the firstborn died, the firstborn of cattle, all firstborn of even the captive in the dungeon, everything died. You understand? Go ahead.
He and all his servants and all the Egyptians. And there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead.
You understand? So in every house in Egypt had a firstborn. You understand? The Lord saying that there was a great cry in Egypt, and there was not a house that there was not one dead. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
And he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, Rise up and get you forth from among my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord as ye have said.
Understand? So when this happened, he called for Moses and Aaron and say, come out from what? Among my people. Which goes to show again, there's a separation between the Israelites and the Egyptians. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Also, take your flocks and your herds, as ye have said, and be gone, and bless me also. And the Egyptians were urgent among the people that they might send them out of the land in haste. For they said, we all be dead men. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading troughs being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders.
You understand? So Pharaoh tells Moses and Aaron, hey, here people, all they take all the flocks, all the herds, you understand, and roll out. You understand? And the Egyptians, they pressed them so urgent that they might send them off in haste. You understand? Before what? We all be dead men, because they see in the destruction that are taking place with all the firstborn being dead. You understand? And with that great cry that came out from Egypt, where the Lord said there was none like that before, and there will be none after. You understand? Go ahead.
And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians.
So the Egyptians gave them jewels, gold, clothes. You understand? They got up their need and throw off, because now it's time to move. As the Lord said, it was going to happen. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 6,000 on foot.
600,000.
600,000 on foot, that were men, besides children. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle.
Understand? So now the children of Israel, about 600,000, they get up and they rule. You understand? Multitude, the mixed multitude that also with them is not talking about the other nations like the East Indians and all these different things. It's not talking about that. You understand? And they rule with their flocks, their herds, and with every much cattle. You understand? But we go pause here for tonight, but we will continue it next week, Lord allow. And also too, we will go into the plagues of Egypt, the things that happened to the Egyptians that night. You understand? But this goes to show so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man that we, as a people, we must return back to the Most High Lord's commandments and statutes in order for us to be delivered from oppression. You understand? From the hands of all these other nations. When you look at the history of Israel, we always return to the things that the Lord told us as a people and as a nation to do. When we return to that, the Lord always hears our cry and deliver us as a people, deliver us as a nation. And if we want to come out from the hands of these oppressors that is over us right now, you understand? Then we need to do one thing, which is to return to the Most High. Give us Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1, Baba Kusha, which is to return to the Most High, you understand, and do what is required for us as a people to do. Some of the things that we need to do, for example, is keeping the Lord's high holy days. Like, for example, the Lord's Passover, April 4th, again, it could come down. The light pole number 1, Morris Street in Point Portland. You understand? If you want to learn more about the Passover, you want to learn more about the culture, the history, you understand, or ask questions on biblically and a whole. You understand? You can come down to the school location, light pole number 1, Morris Street in Point Portland. School doors are always open. Or you could call Officer Swapi at number 479-8286, the officer above me, or the captain above him. You understand? Captain Mashak Mayam at number 1202-701-4640. Call these numbers, you can ask your questions, get your queries, whatsoever the case might be. You understand? But we need to do one thing as a nation and one thing as a people, despite what we might be going through. You understand? This is a command from the Lord. Give me Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1, Baba Kusha.
The book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. This is a command for us. We need to gather ourselves together. When we look at our status as this nation and as this people, we are people and a nation that is not desired by none of these other races, by none of these other nations. You understand? We need to gather ourselves together. Again, where we as a people need to gather in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under commanding General Yan. But the things that they're going to learn here is things that they need to put into practice. You understand? And with that, we're going to pass the class over to Christian Officer Tazo.
Security announcements. We are the ISCPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, out of New York, under Commander General Yana. New rules for brothers and sisters: when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world after 6 months. If a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Means tenth in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'asher. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the church department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, right, is the Lord's Passover. But kicking off from April the 1st, right? And the rundown events as follows. Right, so we have the Lamb Program on the same day at 10 p.m. right in Houston. Right, then we have our round table troop and cross the line with the show, as well as better you will speak, right? For children will be coming out kicking off at 8 p.m. Same day, right? Streamline, right? It's Thursday, April 2nd, we have the annual Passover Kids Party, right? From 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then you have scripture breakdown class of general mind, general mind, right? At 7 p.m. Then Friday, right, April 3rd, you have the all black party, the annual all black party, and the son of black people show up, you know what I mean, and keep it up in the again. Stage, real swag, real swinging, right? Starting at 8 p.m., same time, and then Saturday the 4th, right? Is the Passover brunch from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and the Lord's 57th annual Passover at Beatrice, starting at 5 p.m. Right? For person that can't make it to Houston, Texas at Beatrice, right? We're very close to our school, the closest to you want to get in touch with that person as soon as possible. Right? To figure out exactly what's going to take place, whether in Trinidad, whether in Jamaica, wherever it is, right? According, and they go guide you along the way, right? Then of course after that there's the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is the Sunday, April 5th at 7 p.m. The Passover feast for the person, like for children, 16 and that thing, well, they go tell them if it's free or how much it is, but to start up that is to focus, right? So remind academic brothers and academic sisters to check on social media such as ISBK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISBK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school and start wearing on black boots, like shirts, like banner stuff, that we say which means to stand, like on your put on which means to rise and face the east, which to turn. So the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Have an hour. Shabbat Shamayim. Kodash. Aya, Shamka, Yahoo, Malakwaka, Tamaha, Ratazaka, Aya, Aisha, Baratazak, Wa, Aya, Mashamay, Kanano, Makam, Ka, Wom, Wasalakno, Kababotno, Wasalakno, Ubotino, Wala, Tabayano, Walasai, Bob, Oshino, Aya, Ra, Aya, Aka, Malakwa, Pahala, Matapara, I will love you. Come on.
Just said in English, oh Father, Yahweh, kingdom come, will be done, as it is in heaven, as this day, our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, we forgive our debtors, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be ever. So be it. All right, Madam Visually going to get you to one with the salute, Madam Visually, Madam Shabbat, Machem, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Shabbat, Yahweh Hashem, Shabbat, Matan, Sa, which means to turn, going to give Salom, Madam Salute, Madam Visually, Madam Shabbat, Machem, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Shabbat, Matan, dismiss.